All right, let's get started. My canvas is nice and firm now. So the paints I'm going to be using tonight are, this one is Master's Touch Acrylic Silver. Look at this. That's the consistency you want for your paint. It's like a warm honey. So this particular brand, I mix 50-50 paint and Floetrol, and then add a splash of water. And then if I don't like the consistency, I can add a little more paint or a little more Floetrol, but you've got to make sure you mix really, really good so you don't have lumps and so it's smooth and creamy like that. If you end up getting these bottles, you can put your paint in here. Always add the Floetrol first and then the paint, mix it up, and then you can add more Floetrol. Because that way the paint doesn't get stuck to the bottom. I do that for the cups too. It's just a good little hint to know. And the white is Amsterdam white. That's what I'm using right now. So tonight I am going to do a Mars black, cobalt blue hue, Amsterdam white, and Master's Touch silver tree ring pour. So let's get started. I'm going to put blue in the bottom. I'm going to follow it with some silver. White, black. I think this is going to make a really stunning tree ring pour. The canvas is 14 by 14 square, so I'm hoping for some really distinguished lines. Okay, I'm going to put white around the edges. Just to make sure that this is able to flow the way I want it to without pulling the rings out too much. Look at me, I put my gloves on this time. Y'all know how many times I forget my gloves? At least 75% of the time. Yes, I'll be welded in paint. I'm probably one of the messiest painters you're ever going to see. Yes, there are some painters that are so neat. It is crazy. I see them do these paintings and they're completely clean afterwards. I'm like, I have paint on the ceiling. How did this happen? But I know I'm not the only one that's messy. Can't be, right guys? Come on, somebody, anybody? Okay, tree ring. Spore in the middle. Slight curving, just in a little circle. Look at the lines forming. It's going to be really pretty. I'm really hoping the silver helps the blue and the black and the white pop. Notice how I just put my finger under it so that it didn't just drip across my tree ring, because that can interrupt the lines. You don't want that to happen. It's good to let it sit here for a few minutes. So I'm going to let this sit here for a few minutes and I'll be back. And sometimes in the middle of a painting, you just need to take a break. Step away from it and then come back and look at it again and decide what you want to do, because this is your canvas, this is your painting. It's going to be forever. It's a forever painting. So if it takes a few minutes to figure out that you want to add more paint, or that you needed to add another color, or that you needed to scrape it. Don't just like do it instantly, because if you wait a few minutes and take a breather, sometimes you come back and you go, oh my gosh, I love that. So you have to give it time to develop, or it doesn't happen instantly, no matter how much you want it to. Okay, I'm going to tilt it back to the middle. Now I'm going to tilt it this way. Tilt it back to the middle. Okay, now I'm going to tilt it that way. Alright, now I'm going to help it go off the edge with my finger. Just kind of with the paint. Just help it a little. That way you don't have to lose as much. I'll tilt it back. See, that corner's not covered, so I'm just gonna help that with my finger. Now let's go back toward the middle. Alright, now I'm going to go that way. In the middle of your painting, always be thinking about your composition, how you're wanting it to look in the end. Which parts do you like that are on the canvas? Because those are the parts that you're not going to want to pour off. You're going to want to keep those. So you tilt toward those first, because you'll lose less. You can lose less paint that way, and then go back and tilt the other direction, and let more paint tilt off. Because you need to get, if you have excess paint, you definitely need to get the excess off. And by tilting toward what you like first, it gives you more control over tilting off the parts that you're not as attached to. Alright, now we are going to tilt toward this corner, get this covered. See how I just put my finger in that and pulled it? So now it's flowing evenly. It was like coming down here and not in that middle. So that just helps it flow better. You'll probably get tired of me saying that, but I did not know that in the beginning, and lost a lot of paint because of it. Alright, we're going back toward the middle one more time. And then we're going to do this corner. Okay. Let's take it off this corner. Okay. Yeah, a minute ago I said one more time toward the middle, but actually now is the last time toward the middle. Ah, I tricked you. See how I roll? Okay. Let me see. What do I think about the composition? I like it, but let me turn it the other direction. Let's see. I think I'm going to shift it off this way a little bit more. I really don't want the eye of the storm to be right in the middle. All right. Interesting. Take your finger, rub the edges, along the edges so it doesn't pull all your paint off, because once you have it the way you want it, you are not going to want to lose a ton of paint. Been there, done that. Some people have asked me about my setup here. This was literally stuff I had sitting around the house. I had this rack somebody had given me. I guess it was supposed to go in the cabinets to put cans on or something, and I was not using it, and I was going to donate it. And I have this extra container once it's dry. So, but I haven't used this silver before, so I actually do not know. It's an experiment, and we will learn together. So I will show you the finished product in the next video. So, all right, guys, be inspired.